Masada from Turkey there. Jim, thank you. I want to bring in independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Sir, it's good to have you with us, and I want to start out with this because there's a new CNN ORC poll out today showing 59% of Americans say that Congress shouldn't approve a resolution authorizing even limited military action against Syria. Have you made up your mind how you'll vote?
No, I haven't. I want to listen to the debate and get as much information as I can, but I can say this. In Vermont, the people who are calling and emailing my office are opposed to the tune of 95%. And I think when we understand that Congress's favorability rating is 10 to 15%, there is an understanding in Vermont and throughout this country is that the United States, Congress, and the President are not addressing the issues that the American people care most about, and that is the collapsing middle class, high unemployment, growing wealth and income inequality, global warming. We have a huge menu of issues that we are not addressing, and I think what the people of Vermont and people all over this country are worried about is that if we get into the third war in the Middle East in 11 years, those issues will be even put further behind in terms of our capability of addressing them.
Senator, what's your reaction, though, to Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's comments in this interview this morning with CBS News, denying using chemical weapons, warning about the possibility of retaliation if there is any type of U.S.-led military strike on Syria? Did he help President Obama make his case for striking Syria at all, or do you think that he is just tapping into the fears of a war-fatigued American public and is just trying to intimidate people with lies about how Syrians, innocent Syrians, have died?
Assad is a ruthless dictator. He is a billionaire in an impoverished country. And I believe what the White House is saying, that he has used chemical weapons against his own people. The question is, how do we address that issue? Is the United States virtually unilaterally getting sucked into a bloody and complicated civil war in Syria the best way to do that? And I have serious doubts that it is. Remember, what the American people understand, we were told that when we went into Afghanistan, that would be short. Afghanistan didn't even have an army. That was 11 years ago. In Iraq, we were talking, President Bush was talking about mission accomplished. Well, 4,600 deaths later and tens of thousands of soldiers who came back with TBI and PTSD.
But does President Obama not have any type of credibility with you on the fact that he was able to take out Osama bin Laden, the fact that he has drawn down the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Sure,
Muammar Gaddafi is gone. Mubarak is gone out of Egypt. Does the president have any credibility on foreign policy with our elected leaders?
Sure he does, and I supported, Barack Obama for president on 2 occasions. I'm not somebody who's beating him up every day. But I think where the president does not have credibility, nor does the Congress have credibility in doing what the American people want them to do, and that is to address the very, very serious issues in this country. And I think there is a widespread understanding that if you get sucked into a civil war in Syria, it will be harder to deal with 14% unemployment, or 20% youth unemployment, or 40% black youth unemployment, and the many, many other problems that this country faces.
Sir, I understand, though, the Senate, most likely this is where the president could find the most support, if anything, is to move forward with this. Do you think it was a mistake for the president to even come to Congress on this? For lack of a better phrase, should the president ask forgiveness and not permission for what needs to be done in Syria?
Well, you know what? I know it's hard for some people to appreciate or respect, but we do live in a democratic society. And what I hear a lot of people out there saying, well, yeah, the vast majority of the American people don't want to go to war in Syria, and that's why the president should not have gone to the Congress. I think that's a backwards argument. I think we should listen to the American people. Let me be very clear. In Vermont, and I think throughout this country, there is profound disgust with Assad and what he has done. And we have to search for a way with the United Nations and the global community to address that issue.
Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Senator, as you said, you still have not made up your mind on this. We'll follow it to see which way you do go. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. As a reminder to everybody, President Obama addresses the nation live from the Oval